I think that we can all breathe a little better now, but it takes time. It takes time to heal from all that.
Terrorized for weeks, finally some relief tonight. A community speaks after a criminal known for wielding an axe may have finally been captured. The governor and Nashville's mayor at odds, with the city stuck in the middle. Tonight, the actions costing Nashville COVID recovery help from the state. Plus, fighting a collegiate breeding ground. Classes are back, and COVID is the key concern. How your kids' campuses are buckling down to protect students and their education.
This is News 4 Nashville.
And good evening, everyone. Terror in Donaldson is over tonight. A man believed to have rummaged through the neighborhood while carrying an axe is believed to have been caught. Tonight, residents can go to bed without fear. News 4's Cameron Taylor shows us just how important that is. That is real trauma. Well, Metro Police told News 4 they'd release details of the capture tonight. So far, that has not come out. They did, though, tweet this photo saying the man is suspected in home and auto burglaries, as Cameron was sharing. No word on a motive for all the thefts.
Metro's approach has not been consistent with our approach.
The man in charge of Tennessee seemed none too pleased with Nashville tonight. The governor and Nashville's mayor have taken two different approaches to dealing with the pandemic. Today, Governor Bill Lee criticized Nashville's leadership for asking for additional funding for COVID relief. News 4's Ryan Breslin live downtown with more on why an $80 million request, Ryan, is not happening. Ryan Breslin tonight, thank you. Now, this criticism comes as Nashville announced one of its largest sweeping reopenings in some time. Tonight, we're going to walk you through all the changes ahead, starting the day today, thinking it would all be Titans related. And we did get that news. 10% capacity now for fans at Nissan Stadium starting October 4th. Then, other significant reopening news today. The much anticipated Phase 3 will kick off in Nashville October 1st. Restaurants and bars can open at 50% capacity. The closing curfew has been moved back to 11 p.m. And then a win for high school sports. Games will begin next week.
We definitely have the space to do that downtown and on our rooftops. So bringing back more people is excellent for us because, it helps us maintain profitability, open up Nashville in a safe way and get some revenue flow going again.
For the past few months, we have been in the modified Phase 2, so bars can increase capacity starting tomorrow. Heading into the next flu season, reasonable worries with this virus sticking around. Metro Task Force Chair Dr. Alex Jahangir answered our questions today about making sure we won't bite off more than we can chew.
We want this city to be opened up, and we want to do it in a safe fashion. And the fact that we can do it now when we're going to be below 15 per 100,000, when we were at 65 per 100,000 just 2 months ago, is really exciting. And so, sure, there's risk. I think the flu season, as you mentioned, is important for everyone to get their flu shot and keep wearing your mask and social distance, and let's keep opening up our city.
Today alone, we've received dozens of calls from you wanting to know what's going on with a handful of emails surrounding bar closings and entertainment shutdowns when it seems a few dozen of the city's cases have been contact traced to those establishments. Well, they were all sent within the mayor's team, and one of the men sending the emails spoke one-on-one with News 4 tonight. Our Brittany Weiner has his response. Certainly good news lately,
yes,
straight from Dr. Alex Jahangir's mouth. Thank you so much, Brittany Weiner. Tension in Kentucky tonight, a group fighting to get rid of the governor's executive orders. Kentucky's Supreme Court met to talk about the constitutionality of the orders. The protesters outside want them gone. Like every other state, the governor's executive orders have been a primary tool for fighting the pandemic.
My daughter and I are reading Animal Farm for her literature this year, and she happened to ask me, why are all the animals following along? And point out it's because of fear. They're being controlled by fear.
Just a few of the complaints: they don't believe in being told to wear a mask or how and where they can worship. Here's a quick look at our cases of the day statewide, hitting just over 1,000 new COVID cases today. Overall, we're about 180,000 since March. 13 new deaths pushes us up to nearly 2,200. And more than 2.5 million tests have been completed so far. About 17,000 cases are considered active tonight. And another big announcement today: more availability to visit your loved ones in nursing homes. Governor Bill Lee extended allowed visitations in multiple forms of assisted living homes. Starting October 1st, nursing homes that have not seen a positive COVID-19 case among staff or residents for a 14-day period may welcome in more family and friends. That is for 700 facilities statewide.
If a facility were to have new cases amongst its residents or staff, these expanded visitation allowances would be suspended until the facility is once again infection-free for at least 14 days.
Dr. Lisa Piercy says they are trying to balance physical and emotional needs. There is heavy concern that months of isolation will cause mental health problems for residents. So again, two big press conferences today, the mayor and the governor. To catch all the new details from both, you can watch the streams on our Facebook page. You can watch any future announcements live on the News 4 app as well. All things are clear on I-65 right now after it was closed for hours this afternoon after a crash there. This was at the I-24, I-65 split on the north end of Nashville. So you're looking live on the left there. So all clear. Video is on the right from earlier. We do know that the fatal crash team was called out to the scene. We are still working to find out identities, injuries, and what led to this crash. Again, all lanes opened up a couple of hours ago. And a note for tomorrow, visitations and services will be held for Jordan Stevens. Stevens was one of two people killed in a dangerous crime spree in Nashville over the weekend. This man was kidnapped with his pregnant wife and then killed near her. The visitation starting at 10 in the morning, followed by the funeral at 1. Because of space concerns and, of course, the pandemic, the church plans to live stream his funeral. A GoFundMe page for the Stevens family has also been established. It has already raised more than $50,000 as of tonight. And a tough loss tonight. Smyrna police having to say goodbye to a 3-decade veteran. The department posted to Facebook that Officer Ray Jones passed away today. Jones had been with the department for 31 years. The Post called him dedicated, loyal, and a true friend, and asked for prayers from the community. Colleges across the country are coming up with ways to mitigate the spread of coronavirus on campus. We are taking an in-depth look at the Mid-State. Our Rebecca Cardenas on MTSU's campus in just minutes, showing one of our standards for our region. And thank you, Lisa. I love that image, by the way, of running through this fall foliage. It's beautiful. Sally's damage we are talking about, more wide sweeping than you might think. We're going to show you part of the coast in Florida, reeling from Sally's strength.
You're watching News 4 Tonight.
Days after a visit from the White House Coronavirus Task Force to the University of Tennessee, we are checking in with how campuses in our area are working to contain the spread of COVID. News 4's Rebecca Cardenas reports tonight from Murfreesboro. The University of Tennessee announcing more changes today. They have pushed back the spring semester. Classes will start a week later now on January 20th, and spring break has been canceled. UT said the changes were meant to limit student travel. The university made similar changes for the fall as well. We have new pictures tonight from the Nashville Fire Department. It shows the crews down in Florida helping in the aftermath of Hurricane Sally. They also had a crew going to Louisiana. Parts of that area are still dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Laura from just a few weeks ago. And hundreds of thousands are starting to clear away debris and clean up more than 24 hours now after the storm ripped apart communities from Mississippi through the Florida Panhandle. One of the hardest hit areas was Pensacola, Florida. That's where Jay Gray has a closer look tonight. Jay Gray reporting there. So what did we get from Sally, you may be asking? Lisa, nothing really but some cool weather right here in the Mid-State. We'll take it. New today, the company working with Vanderbilt Medical Center says it should by November if their vaccine works. Moderna's CEO says the company could even know by next month, but that is unlikely. They still want another 5,000 people to take part in the phase 3 trial.
We anticipate our base plan for efficacy for the first interim readout to be in November. That's our base plan. Our best plan is October. I think it's unlikely, but it's possible. And if the infection rate in the country was to slow down in the next weeks, it could potentially be pushed out as a worst case scenario, I would say, December.
Wow, well, this comes the same week Pfizer announced it should know by Halloween if its vaccine works. Here is our web poll of the day. The question today, do you trust the CDC or President Trump more to handle the virus? 2/3 of you say they want to follow the CDC. 33% are on the president's side. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. For folks in Creve Hall, a strip of familiar businesses have become practically family over the years. But all those familiar names could be gone in just days. News 4's Forrest Sanders explains what's happening. Oh, wow. A turkey sandwich on the table, ready every day. That's a beautiful thing. Well, MAPCO did send us a response today, saying in part, since May, we have communicated regularly with existing tenants to better understand their individual needs so we can best support these businesses. Independent businesses, it goes on to say, are an integral part of the Nashville community, and we are committed to working together to keep the Music City vibrant and dynamic. That is it for us here on News 4 tonight. Thank you so much for spending some time with us. Our next newscast bright and early at 4 a.m. Have a great night.